All right, hey everybody, welcome back to the eBay shop. My name's Corey.
I'm Teresa.
And we are Grams and Pops Vintage, and we have a confession to make.
We screwed up.
A lot.
We screwed up, but we got screwed.
Well,
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah, we did.
Here's the problem. We're just not that good at reselling, and we're finding that out now. So,
We've known.
yeah, there's been clues. There have been clues.
Go watch past videos. You'll see that we're not very bright when it comes to reselling sometimes. So
we're going to talk about some of the things that don't go wrong in reselling. We see a lot of people talking about all the cool finds and the big sales and the great stuff like that. There's a lot of not so great that goes along with it. So we're going to talk about some of our mix-ups, some of our
issues.
Not great parts of reselling this week. But as usual, we do have some things that sold that we do need to get out of here. So what's the first one of those?
We sold a CB. It is a Raymarine Ray 45. Raymarine.
It's a Raymond?
It's a Raymarine Ray 45 marine radio with mic and mount.
Yeah, it's hard to see in there, but it's like a CB for a boat.
Yep. And I tested it.
Yep.
Do you know where...
Breaker 19, talk the semis out on the highway.
Excuse me, do you know where we bought that at?
I don't remember where we bought that.
We bought that on the Scavenger's Journey.
Did we?
That and what do you call it?
I don't know. Apparently you don't either.
A depth finder.
Oh,
remember at that
yes.
one, the one that the lady smelled like pot, really, really bad?
Yep.
That one sold for $69.99. We only had $10 in it. That was
not bad.
Not bad at all. This next item came out of our estate sale buyout. Remember all those trains that were in the box that I took it out of the box? This is a Model Power HO Old Time O-4-0 locomotive train. It is tested
Tiny
and
little
working.
train. Yep.
And it sold for $33 plus shipping.
Trains. I can't believe people still collect trains.
Well, speaking of trains, I did just buy a whole lot of train Hallmark ornaments. So people do collect trains.
Some of those are pretty cool too.
There's
Hallmark
two of them.
has some very detailed ornaments.
They do. Two of them have little batteries that they're called observation cars, and they light up. I didn't put the batteries in them to test them because they were new. The batteries had not been taken off. Yep. So, but yeah, really cool.
All right, we're back for another sticker feature. Let's go see who we got today.
Let's go. I won't.
We got that.
We have Happy Heart Treasures, which is Steve and Donna, Resellers, and Homers of Things.
Rehomers?
Rehomers of Things.
Of stuff.
Of stuff.
There you go. I'm not sure Teresa watches Steve and Donna either.
I do. I watch them every time they release a video.
We're going to see Steve and Donna here in about a month because we're going up to the sale up there.
Yep.
So go check out Happy Heart Treasures. I don't know if you can scan that barcode, but...
And they do picking
QR code
and
storage units
and what sold videos.
Yep. So interesting channel. They got a good variety over there. All right. So would you like to tell them about your first whoops?
Man, I was so heartbroken.
I was a little iffy. She bought a watch.
I did. I bought a watch at our local thrift store. I paid $4 for it.
Is that you paid $4?
I paid $4 for that watch.
I thought you said you paid $20.
No, I paid $4 for that watch.
Okay, so I'm not so disappointed now. I thought you paid $20 for the watch.
No, I said I saw a comp or something that was around 20 whatever.
Okay. I totally misunderstood. See, I was thinking this was a way bigger boo-boo than it was.
No, but it's still, I'm still learning on watch repair. The screwback watches, the screwback cases, those are simple for me. I have figured out how to pop off watch backs without damaging them because I have a new little tool.
Putting them back on is different.
Putting them back on, those things do not go back on as easy as they come off.
No.
So my little watch kit that I got has a little hammer with it. It's like not a rubber, but it's like a plastic type hammer so it doesn't damage the metal or dent it or anything. So I did the smart thing.
Did you? Because I don't think it resulted in the smart thing.
Shut up. I did do a smart thing. I put some padded stuff down.
Okay.
And then I put the watch on it. And I banged on it.
Then you smashed it with a hammer.
But it didn't work.
No, it didn't work.
I didn't tell you this part.
Oh, the plot thickens. Well, let's hear it.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just, if I have padding on there, I'll just use a pliers.
You squeezed it?
I squeezed it.
Is that how you broke it? You So you squeezed a watch?
I thought I was, because I had it held on one side, and I thought I was on just the metal part of the watch,
And you were on the glass.
and I was partway on the glass.
Well, that would break a watch. I guess it's a $4 watch. I don't care. I thought it was a $20
No, but
watch.
then when I started doing some more research, it's anywhere from a $40 to a $60 watch.
Not no more.
No, it's in the trash.
Now it's a $4 garbage.
Because I didn't want to look at it anymore, so I broke it and I threw it away.
So that's your watch mix-up. But we've had shipping mix-ups, 2 of them.
We have.
Just
The
this
one
week.
I claim. I'm not claiming the other one.
I have to claim one of them. Somebody on Commons bought a lot of keychains. Like a lot of them were like Chrysler and Jeep and Dodge, like keychains from the dealership that were new unused keychains. So we put them in a lot and we sold them for pretty cheap.
And he boxes them up. I will admit, I don't do a whole lot with the Commons stuff, but he boxes them up and then he writes, what's on it. And if it's multiple, we have multiple like different music
do like
sheet.
lot A, lot B type thing.
Yep.
Yeah. And when we went to ship them, I pulled the wrong one.
He pulled just one that he saw that said key.
Yeah. I shipped a whole box of like old vintage keys, random keys, instead of the keychains to the person that was supposed to get them. So now we've got to fix that. We've got to send out we got to send out the right package. So that was on me, but she did one too.
So I did. So I didn't think anything of it. I try and pay really good close attention because we've had it happen a long time ago as well, where the quantity number was in there. And I looked at it and I will admit, I didn't look really close at the quantity, but we sold, they're called Kasky, and they're little
plastic
like
figures.
football people.
They have
and
football,
soccer,
baseball, and hockey.
Yep.
And
I have a soccer one that I'm getting ready to list. Anyway, so these figures, and I saw that they wanted a black and gray uniform one, and they wanted a blue and gray uniform one. Didn't think anything of it, grabbed them both, dropped them in there, shipped them off. Yesterday I got a message saying, I only got 2 of my 3 figures. So I went back and looked. Yeah, so he had ordered 2 black and gray ones, not just one. So yeah, I made a boo-boo. So I'm sending him his other one.
yeah. So we are sending all the stuff that was supposed to be sent. So everybody's going to be made whole. But yeah, it happens. Like it's not the first and only time it's ever happened. It doesn't happen often, but those things, they happen and they really kind of derail your week.
They do. Well, then can we talk real quick about the message we got this morning?
No. Oh, what message?
That was rude. So we had sold remote start.
Oh, yeah.
We had sold a remote start internationally. So it went to the hub. Mm-hmm. It went through the hub. So to me, once it goes through the hub, that's off of me.
Yep.
Like I want nothing to do with it. Well, technically eBay tells me.
I don't know how it works on their side.
I don't either.
Like when they buy something, do they see all the shipping and the taxes and the duties and all that? Or do they find that out after the fact?
Yeah, I don't. So anybody that's international that has bought from eBay in the States, let me know how you, specifically Canada. If you're from Canada, let us know, because we got a scathing message this morning from the guy that bought it saying that we needed to switch what company we were using because they shipped it through DHL e-commerce, I think is what eBay used.
Yeah, they basically got hit with a bunch of taxes and duties coming into their country.
Yep.
And they were very unhappy, to say the least. And they wanted us to know, and they even threatened to dispute with a credit card, which, I mean, if they do, they do. eBay's going to keep us whole. They're just going to basically make eBay eat it if they do that. And that's not cool. But I don't know how that works, but I would think they would I would think they would know that before they purchase.
I know when you see it flash up on eBay, sometimes you'll see it where you see a high dollar amount and then you go into the order and you will see a lower dollar amount. So I think they actually get to see their freight, but I don't know how the whole duties and taxes and that type of stuff works.
I would think if they're ordering from the States and they're from a different country, they've probably encountered this at some point. I don't think it was a surprise. I think maybe he's just a whiner.
A grumpy old man.
I never met a grumpy Canadian before.
I haven't either, but
We
maybe
should find out who he is. I might like this guy.
he's probably a grumpy old man. You would probably get along with him great.
I like grumpy Canadians. That sounds like that'd be a good friend.
So yeah,
That's not our problem.
No.
Well, it is our problem. It's not our fault. We didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
We just sold something. He bought it and then didn't like the duties and customs. And I would hope he sees that ahead of time. If not, then I completely understand his frustration there.
But my next question would be then what do they do if he doesn't pay the duties and taxes? Did they send it back to eBay?
Probably.
I don't know. Whatever.
Send it
So if
back
you're
to
from
them.
Canada, if you're a Canadian and you buy from eBay US,
Let us know.
let us know how that goes.
All right. So let's look at a few more things that sold.
We sold some jeans. These are not sparkle butt jeans. Just so you know.
They're not.
They're not. They're a brand that I wear. I've really started wearing these. They're Maurice's embellished distress. So they do have some distressing on them. Boot cut jeans.
Yep. So what?
Oh, they do have sparkle.
They did have some
They do have some sparkle.
Yeah.
They're just not sparkle butt. They're sparkle pocket.
sparkle pocket jeans.
Yep.
Can you tell us what these sold for?
I can. $24.99.
What am I doing here? We cut down to one video a week so we can make our videos better, and this is a train wreck.
It's okay. So the next item we sold, I am super excited about.
I'm excited to see the first one of these go.
Yep. So off of we just talked about Commons, whatnot, but off of shopcommons.com, we bought a whole lot of vintage patches.
Yep, this is one of them. It's an old Chevy patch.
Yep, and I have 2 lots of these because one, they all look like they're brand new, never been anything. There's no damage to them. There's no nothing. And the other lot has some staining just from like storage or whatever.
They're the sew-on patches, not the iron-on ones.
Yep, I think out of that whole lot, I have one that's an iron-on.
Yeah.
But this is a vintage Chevrolet Super Service, and it has the bow tie logo, sew-on patch, and it sold for $11.50, free shipping. But it's going in a, what do they call it, standard envelope.
And I think we have like 30 of these.
Between the 2 lots, I think there's around 30 of them.
We have a lot of these. Plus, we have a ton of other different kinds of patches. Whoops.
So if you're in the market for vintage patches, there's some Ford ones, there's some Chevy ones, there's some Case IH, or not ICE, International Harvester.
A lot of different beer ones. Yeah.
There's an Indian meat market.
Chrysler or Plymouth or something. There's all kinds of different patches, and they're all vintage patches, which are pretty cool.
And I think I've listed them all now.
All right. Now, this one...
It's always Department
This one
56.
wasn't on us. This one was definitely not on us. But we had a kind of a dark side of reselling moment this past weekend when we went to pick up a bulk deal on Department 56 that Teresa negotiated.
Yeah, so I was frustrated. Like, I was seriously frustrated.
I was not frustrated. The only part that I was frustrated about is that you were not leaving.
I didn't leave it and go.
Yeah.
I already paid half of it.
I would have told him to kick rocks and I would have left.
So the deal behind it is somebody listed an estate sale / garage sale on Facebook Marketplace. I saw it. I saw a whole shelving unit and a half of Department 56 and Lomax figurines and houses. So I messaged the lady and said, hey, are you willing to sell these before the sale? What do you want for them? There are over 35 of them. So she said $10 a piece. I was like, okay, whatever, which is on the high side of what I typically pay for those.
It is.
But she said I could have all these. There was like 5 brands, 5 manufacturers that I told her that I wanted. And she said I could have them all. And I could have any figures and the trees that were in a box.
So they had like a really detailed negotiation of what was included and for what price.
Yep.
And it was a done deal. She paid half the price.
I did.
Ahead of time to hold them. We were going the very next morning to go get them. And long story short, it was the kids that were doing the sale for the most part.
Yep.
And
the
it was
dad.
the older gentleman, the dad, was there when we went to pick them up, along with a couple of the kids.
So my recommendation, if you ever have an estate sale, you cannot have the person, if it's a living estate sale, you cannot have the person that stuff it is at the estate sale.
No, he was convinced that the stuff that they were selling, they sold too cheap. So he was going back on the deal, and he was pulling stuff out of the deal that we'd already negotiated.
Yep.
He just started randomly pulling things out of the deal, saying, this actually doesn't go. This doesn't go.
So I did know about the one. Once I messaged her telling her I was on my way, and she told me there was somebody else that would be there to handle it. She did tell me, well, he pulled one item out. So
after it had already been negotiated and half paid for.
Yep, and it's not worth, and no offense, the money he's asking for it, he's not going to get at a garage sale for it.
No,
but
he was asking eBay price for it, which is his right. He could have done that to begin with. But once they had agreed and made the deal was done.
Yep.
That alone would have made me turn back and get my money back. I would not have gone any further with those people.
No, but then, so when I went to go send the money to the lady, we were talking, and the one kid or the one adult daughter or whatever she was over there, and she's like, oh, here's those trees. And I'm like, yeah, the lady said those go with it, the one that I was messaging with on Facebook Marketplace. And the guy's like, no, those go separate. I'm going to sell those each individually. And the kids are like, just come back tomorrow.
Yeah, they were trying to get us to come back when he wasn't there and just pick them up anyway.
Yep.
But they did, I mean, from the moment we walked in, they were like, oh, these don't go and these don't go. And he was very adamant that he was going to pull things out. And I kind of stood my ground. I was like, hey, keep it all. Doesn't make any difference to me. You can keep every single bit of it. I don't care. But Teresa was like trying to salvage the deal and trying to make the deal. And eventually I just made it really clear that everything they take out, I'm taking money off for, and we're leaving this place.
Yep. So
They could tell I was getting angry, but Teresa was really trying to salvage the deal.
Yep. So when I sent her the last of the money, I did deduct money off for the stuff that they took off because that was part of the deal.
Not enough.
Probably.
I think we paid more than we were supposed to for what we ended up getting.
Maybe.
Definitely.
I'm a sucker for department fees, but hey,
You're a sucker, period.
I only paid $10 a piece. Not like my other boo-boo where I way overpaid for it.
Yeah. We haven't opened them yet. We don't know if they're in tatters or if half of them are even in the boxes. We really don't know.
I don't.
So we will be finding out. But I think the whole problem was they were selling someone else's. They were selling their dad's stuff.
Yep.
And their dad was just emotionally attached to it. He wasn't letting it go. But they made the deal without him involved, which was unfortunate.
Yes.
Like they should have had, if he had ultimate say on it, then they should have been having him involved.
Which the conversation,
so I don't blame him at all.
No, but it wasn't like it was a 5-minute conversation on Facebook Marketplace. It went over 3-4 hours where I think she was talking with him.
Yeah.
Or that's my assumption is she was, because I said, well, what do you want for it? And it took her a long time. And then she came back with a price.
I guess what would you guys have done in that situation if you make a deal and you've already paid for half the deal and then you arrive to pick the stuff up and they start renegotiating it? They didn't renegotiate. Same price. They just start taking things out of the deal.
Yeah, I didn't even tell the lady when we picked them up. When I sent her the last of her payment because it went through Venmo, I just put a note in there saying I'm deducting this amount because he took these out.
Yeah, like I don't know what else you could have done in that situation. Me personally, I would have.
You would have walked away.
I would have walked away if it had been like $5 a piece and we had to change the deal a little bit to where there was a little more meat on the bone. I would have said fine, but because they were already at the very top of what we would pay for one, like we paid up for them and got walked on.
Yeah.
So I wasn't very happy with that, but
No.
We'll see how bad we got walked on once we start going through.
That's my project tomorrow, I think.
So see, we're just not good at this. How would you guys do this? How would you handle that situation?
Yes. Yes.
At the same time, you're in their house or you're in their garage. The old man was obviously distraught. He was not happy about the situation. I felt bad for him.
The girls didn't know, so they didn't, like, my frustration too was if you were doing it, they should have taken them all down because they said, well, we have 2 people coming to pick up lots.
Yeah.
You should have taken them all down and set them aside.
And they had no idea what we were picking up because they were like, well, these don't go. And I was like, yes, they do. Look, they're in the pictures and in the description of what we negotiated. So the person that negotiated with us wasn't there. That was the problem. Mm-hmm. So, all right, let's look at a few more things that actually did sell.
We sold some more education. So this one is saran wrapped because I didn't list it as new. but there were pieces in the back of the book. If you look on the back of the bottom, you can see that they pulled some pieces out.
Oh, there's some pages missing.
But they took them out and they stuck them, they're like learning pieces, so they stuck them in each lesson throughout the book.
Oh, so they're there. They're just taken out.
Yes,
Like they're
yes.
tear apart.
So this is an Abeka Spelling and Poetry 5th edition workbook. It is for first graders. And this book officially makes me whole on that entire lot. So anything else we sell from that,
And we have quite a bit left from
profit. That sold for $14.99 plus shipping.
Yep. Homeschooling stuff. 'Tis the season.
Okay. Next up, we sold a video game. It's a careful. Oh, you just stuck your finger. Oh.
This is bad.
Dude.
Okay, I saved it. It's a video game.
It is. It's a PC game. It is called Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. PC game from 2004.
It is a PC game. It doesn't look like it has a code or anything.
It says
so it's
Activision
just,
on it.
yeah, they make a lot of games.
So it sold for $12.99, free shipping.
There we go. All right, so the next one was new for me because I actually got to see Grams go from like Happy Grams to Freddy Krueger in like just a flip of a switch. Like immediately she was just angry and I was like, what is wrong? And she explained why.
So we're sitting there at our weekend job at the escape room, and all of a sudden I get this message that says, these are our pictures. Oh, that sounded really snotty. I can't do that. I got to re-say that. These are our pictures you copied from our listing. Please remove them or I'll contact eBay. Thank you.
And in a quiet office where no one's talking and there's no noise, all I hear is, well, I won't repeat what I heard.
It's not appropriate for YouTube.
But it was loud and she was outraged.
I was. So I went and I pulled up their listing. I went to their thing, and I guess for me, I will claim that they're a new seller because they had like 81 things listed, 58 things listed, and they've only sold 2. But I went and looked at their pictures, and they had 3 pictures. So I like memorized where the stuff was in their pictures. Then I went to my listing, and I pulled up my pictures. I had 24 pictures.
Well, I could see where you could think that they might have been there. Like if you take a picture of a Stanley tape measure on a white background and then another person does, like how different are the pictures going to be? They were similar, but you could definitely tell they were different pictures.
Yeah, they were in different orders.
And like it wasn't a Stanley tape measure, it was a toy.
It was a Care Bear, it was a Care Bear Care-a-Lot cloud car with some signs and the Care Bears. And mine were in different order.
She accused us of stealing pictures and then threatened to contact eBay, and Graham wasn't having it. So.
No, so and Corey's like, do not message back. Too late.
Yeah. She had messaged back before she finished cursing, I think.
I said, no, they are not. I personally took these pictures of these items, thinking that would be it. That was not it. Well, it was.
That was pretty much it.
It was. But then she sent back a message like a minute after I sent that and said, never mind, I apologize. My daughter was mistaken. We have had that happen before, so it was confusing. So sorry. I have never accused somebody of taking my pictures on eBay.
I'm not sure we would anyway. I'm trying to figure out like how big of a problem is this?
Yeah, how many people get their pictures stolen? You know, I do understand it because there are some people who drop ship.
Well, that's fine. I still don't understand it. If you take my pictures, one, I'm glad you liked them. I don't care because I'm going to sell that one item and I'm never going to need that picture again. I really don't care if your sales first because of my picture or not. When we were doing e-commerce at a large scale and we were selling the same item 1,000 times, then if you steal my picture, we have issues because that's part of what makes...
We custom did a lot of our pictures for our e-commerce business.
And it's part of what makes my items sell more than my competitors who are selling the exact same item over and over and over again.
Yep.
But with eBay, you're selling that one widget one time and you probably will never sell it again. And the condition of each one is different, so you have to rephotograph anyway. So who gives 2 craps about the picture that you're going to use once, and then when it sells, you'll never need it? Like people get way too worked up over that. I get it in e-commerce. I don't get it with eBay at all.
Like I said, I guess for me, it was just like with a little bit of research before you send that message. do your research.
Oh, she jumped to a conclusion for sure.
But then the funny part was she blamed her daughter.
Yeah.
If your daughter said, "Oh my God, they stole those pictures," would you go look to make sure?
No, I would have said, who cares?
Oh, I'm just saying, would you take your...
She cared. She threw her daughter under the bus. I don't know how old her daughter is, but she's
I don't
got
either.
bus tracks all the way across her.
But yeah, I was just, I don't know. Most things don't, I mean, yes, most negative things probably get me going because as we discussed in previous things, I don't like negative reviews. I don't like accusations without basis.
I don't think anybody does, but to me, that's just funny because
Oh, I know you were laughing.
it just, I don't know. I don't get that as being an issue. I don't get it. That's like getting mad that somebody breathed air in the same room you breathed it. There's enough to go around. Don't worry about it.
So anyway, so I guess then now the question goes back to, we're just asking them all kinds of questions today.
All right, there you go.
We are. So what would you have done in this situation? Or have you ever been accused of stealing somebody's pictures? Or have you ever accused somebody of stealing your pictures?
If you're going to take the time to go through and look up your items, like your comping items, and you find my listing and you really like my pictures, you have my blessing.
But you're only going to screw yourself that way.
Why? Don't say that word.
Well, because if you use my pictures and your product
item not as described
is crappy,
yeah,
you're an idiot.
I'd be worried about item not as described. But if you want to use our pictures, you do have my permission. I don't mind. I really don't mind.
I'm a professional photographer, so.
Yeah, right. I'd be happy to know if somebody else got some use out of them too, because it is kind of a shame to spend that kind of time taking photos, use them once, and then they're just done forever. So if somebody else could get a second of use out of them, why not? Like I really genuinely don't mind that. But
I don't care.
Don't call me complaining about your item not as described though. Like I take no responsibility beyond that.
So anyways, but my blood pressure's back down. I vented my thing in our group of friends.
On me, so now my blood pressure's up.
Oh, whatever. I did not take it out on you.
She didn't.
I took you out for supper last night.
She did. We got who hot. On
a date night with our kids and our grandbaby, who so nicely decided she wanted to share her food with my plate.
She's a giver.
She did, but she's a taker too because she took some of it back. Too. All right. Okay, let's talk about the last couple things that we just talked over top of each other. We have had this for a while. Yeah, I might have to dust it off before.
I hate that I have to ship this. I'll come way back here.
So this is a Holiday Creations 20-inch animated Santa workshop.
Yes,
I think I paid like $5 for him.
And he does work.
He sold for $39.99. Plus, oh my God. Can I say it? Plus $75 shipping.
Where's he going?
I don't know.
Antarctica? We might have to refund some of that shipping. No wonder he didn't sell.
Where's the address?
Unless it's international. That was excessive.
I can't see where it's going. Usually I can see where it's going, but for this one I just can't for some. It's going UPS ground, but.
Well, we may have to refund a little of that shipping.
Yeah, I would say. Okay, the last thing. So this one I'm not getting burned on.
We got another VTech.
We do. So this is a VTech V-Smile TV Learning Console. It has a controller.
Yep.
In here it has a microphone.
And I hear some stuff
and
wiggling.
There are 3 games in there.
Is that what's wiggling?
Yep, they're the games. That's a storage
cartridges.
spot for it. Yeah. But this one I did full on pull out. I tested the games. I tested everything.
Yep. We did have one of these go out where the handles didn't work.
Yep. Corey frowned upon it when I grabbed it at the sale, but I only paid $5 for the entire thing.
Yep.
And it sold for $44.99.
So it ended up being good. But yeah, we did kind of eat it on one of these early on. So when I see them now, I'm like,
Well, we did and we didn't, because in that bag that we had gotten from Padres.
We still sold all the games.
The games, I sold all of the games, and there was a handheld gaming system that I sold as well. So
we made money on it.
We did.
It just stunk that we had sent something out that didn't actually fully work.
Yep.
But all right, well, I think that's it. So now that we have done pretty
Griped
much
and
everything incorrectly,
complained.
and we have messed up reselling, we're going to go try and do our packing correctly and make sure all these ship to the right places.
Yep, I gotta go make sure that nothing ships together.
Yep. So we're going to get to packing. We will see you guys next Wednesday.
Hasta la vista, baby.